Hey y'all, I'm Jet Jurgensmeyer, and you're watching Strike TV.
Angela here, Strike TV. We have a talented young guy here with us today. He's an award-nominated actor in film and television. In fact, if you've watched any movies out there, you've seen American Sniper, Woodlawn. You've seen some TV series with CSI, Last Man Standing, Will and Grace. You have definitely seen this guy. And he's an established country music singer-songwriter as well. You've seen him also on Strike TV here. We actually premiered his music video, Red, and we've got to welcome Jet Jurgensmeyer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us and allowing us to visit with you today.
Of course, this will be a good time.
As we were talking earlier, you were pretty young when you got into the acting career that you've built really nicely now. You've been in films, television, and you've voiced several animated projects. So how did you get into the acting?
So it started really kind of right before acting, actually. My parents used to own a restaurant bar here in Nashville called the Nashville Palace.
Wow.
And I grew up kind of getting on stage there, being around the entertainment industry. And we're really close with the Mandrell sisters, Barbara, Louise, Erlene. It was their mother, Mary Mandrell, that said to my parents, why don't y'all try acting with Jet, see what happens. And so they had a friend, Mark Block, who's still my agent to this day. We met with him. I started doing some auditions here in Nashville, doing some music videos and some small projects, some commercials. And when I was 5, he had a connection to California, and we started going out to LA. And after that, it just kind of snowball affected into just constantly doing something.
Yeah. So how did you keep your head in the game? Because I know you traveled from Nashville, then you traveled to California, and you moved back and forth to, take care of your acting and all your roles
You
and
know,
stuff.
I really credit my family and my friends with that because all of my really close friends, all of my people that I'm close with in my life,
Mhm.
uh, just want to be friends with Jet. They're not trying to get anything or anything like that. And so it's little things like when I go back to Missouri, I'm working on the farm. Like just about 2 weeks ago, we were on tour with the band. We went up to Idaho, and on the way back, stopped at our farm in Missouri, and I tedded 71 acres and got 321 bales of hay done. So I mean, stuff like that. So it's little things like that that bring you back to earth a little bit and remind you where you came from, which I'm really proud of because if it weren't for, my family that did what jobs that some people would think is crappy, like working in turkey barns and in hay fields, like stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to get to travel around and play music for a living. So I like to do that kind of stuff, and it brings me closer to my family.
Wow. So I know with you traveling back and forth with your family, the family farm, and you've been in all these movies and TV sitcoms. How was it like working alongside some of these actors, actresses in film and television? I mean, that had to be something.
It was nerve-wracking, is what it is. One of the coolest people I've ever got to work with is Betty White. I was on an episode of her show Hot in Cleveland, and that was really, really neat. She treated me, I was a kid, I was young, and she treated me like a professional, like I was one of the adults. And, before every episode, everybody would go into her dressing room and do a speed read of the whole episode of what was getting filmed that night in front of the audience. And they invited me. They let me into her room, and I got to sit there and do my scenes with them, and while everybody's just kind of hanging out. And that was pretty neat. Getting to work with like Clint Eastwood, Bradley Cooper, on Disney, like Sabrina Carpenter, Sophia Carson, people like that. It's little memories like that with those people that I really take to heart and remember.
Wow. So for your love of music, it kind of you've always had that a passion for music. I mean, what made you get into the business? As far as I know, the Nashville Palace with your parents owning that, but
Definitely kind of being born into it. You know, when I always make the joke when you're from Nashville, you're going to be in entertainment in some way, shape, or form. And the music was no different. You know, I grew up being on stage and singing and telling jokes and just kind of entertaining crowds and falling in love with that. And when I started writing songs, I think I was about 11 or 12. That was when I really kind of found, oh, I really enjoy this. This is something that I enjoy. And then there's nothing like getting to spend 12 hours in the van with the whole band and my parents, drive into a show and Lord knows where, and then go and perform for a bunch of people that have never heard your songs before. But by the end of the show, they love them and they're dancing and we're playing songs they know, songs they don't, playing some of my stuff and just having a good time. It's little things like that that I just definitely don't take for granted and that make me want to keep going.
Mm, Yeah, I think that's wonderful that you got your parents behind you.
Absolutely. I'm very fortunate.
So, who are some of your musical and film influences?
Oof. Music influences are all over the place. You know, being in California, naturally, I'm a huge Shawn Mendes, Ed Sheeran, Charlie Puth fan. But being from Nashville, you know, Chris Stapleton, nowadays Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan, Zach Top, Luke Bryan, Luke Combs, older country like Hank Williams, freaking Johnny Cash, all these guys. Like I grew up listening to old country, you know. My parents owned a two-step place. So that's kind of what I mean, if everybody I heard Ring of Fire more than I think any other song in the world before I was like 10 years old. So
Wow.
it's my inspiration is all over the place. I'm a huge Cody Johnson fan. I think, especially now that I'm older, people will start to hear that in my newer stuff that I'm putting out, like Red or the songs that we have recorded that we're going to be putting out soon.
Yes.
Like some of those, I think people really start to hear my Kojo inspiration come out because I just love what he stands for. I love his music. He's super talented.
And that was pretty much the inspiration behind the new single Red, correct?
Yes, it really was. Cody has this song called Human, and he always says basically how I feel at every one of his shows. You know, it doesn't matter who we all are human when we get down to it. And
Yes.
I say something very similar at my shows with my band. And I thank our veterans and I thank our first responders. And I had the idea on the way to the right with Erica and Kaylee. I was like, I want my own version of his song Human. I want my version of that. And something we all do is we all bleed red. We're all human. We all go through the same stuff each and every day. And so little things like reds in our daily life, whether you're watching the sun set, whether it's Jesus bleeding on the cross for us, everything in between. We all are human. We all go through the same things. And so the song kind of fell out onto the page and I wasn't 100% sure it was going to be one I was going to record. I just knew that it was one I loved that I could relate to, that was everything that I believe. Literally, if you just listen to the lyrics, you'll know pretty much everything about me. Uh, and then the more I sat with it, the more I played it at writers' rounds and kind of played it for some friends and family, the more I was like, I might be a little greedy songwriter for a second and record this one. I want to see, I kind of like this one. I want to keep this one for myself. And I'm glad I did.
Oh, well, we were proud, really proud to world premiere your video here on Strike TV. Great video. You actually watch Strike TV. You can watch it on Roku, Fire TV,
Hmm.
StrikeTV.com, all the phones, iPads, computers.
Everywhere.
And as far as the video,
So we actually shot it in Tennessee
so
because our guys from California, there's no airports anywhere near where we live in Missouri. There's no airports. We wanted to film it at our farm. And
right.
so we tried to find a place that almost replicated our farm. That was almost identical. And we really hit the nail on the head. I mean, from the barn to the ponds to the red dirt that's on the ground, like it's identical. So it's as close
Oh,
as you can get to our
wow.
family farm.
Wow.
Uh,
Crazy.
we found it here in Tennessee, not far from Nashville, and we found it online first, and they had an American flag on the side of their barn, and we were like, I mean, that's perfect. And so we went there. The guy that owns it's amazing, and we just had a blast. We spent the whole day. Honestly, we didn't have a direction for how we wanted the video to go. We just knew that this was the right location. So as the day went on, it was one of those moments where we would be like, that could be a cool shot. Let's go do that. That could be fun. Let's go film over here. And that was how it went. And then the video turned out awesome. I'm super proud of it. I love it. My co-writer and his wife live just around the corner from that farm. And so his wife showed up in his truck to come and watch it. And we were like, that truck would fit perfectly in this video. And she said, here's the keys. And I drove a brand new Ford F-150 in that video, and I could not have been happier. It was great. Yes, it was a whole series of just happy accidents.
There you go. You can't beat that. So
No.
anything funny happened when y'all were filming or
Some cheesy stuff like trying to figure out how to film me moving hay bales without it looking like I've never moved hay bales before, even though I have a bunch in my entire life. If you've worked on a farm, you know how to buck bales, but it's a matter of making it look like it's weird trying to look like you know how to do something in a video. It's hard. And I didn't want people, especially like my family and the whole farming community, to think that I was just a musician or an actor that decided to throw on a pair of boots and go walk around on a farm. So little things like that, trying to make it not look cheesy and it's and
right?
fake. It's not. It's not fake. But I think we did a good job of it. But there was little moments like that throughout the day. Anything from like casting the rod, like to just try to fake fish, little things like that.
Right, right.
Stuff like that that people don't see behind the scenes. Next time we film a video, I need to do a behind the scenes video so people can see
Yes,
all that cool stuff.
yes. You got to get a lot of B-roll.
I got to get a lot of B-roll, and then
Never know.
you
Yep.
guys can also air the behind the scenes
Yes.
video with the music playing in the background of all
Yep.
the stupid stuff that happens.
We can do that. Just remember that next time.
I will.
No, hey, okay. So you performed on stage singing and you still do a little acting. So how do you kind of keep that in balance?
I think it's because it's all I've really known my whole life. I mean, literally my whole life has been centered around acting and music and balancing being in school and balancing having a personal life. So I almost feel more at home when I'm working and when I am on stage or when I have a busy schedule. It's weird when I have a day off. The other day I had like my first day off in a while and I was sitting around our apartment. I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is weird. Like, you can only spend so much time at the gym. You can only spend so much time like doing laundry. What am I supposed to do for the other
Yeah,
20 hours in the day? And inevitably, it's one of those days when you have nothing to do, that you have the most energy and you're stuck at the house because you don't know what to go do. So being busy and having a busy schedule, I enjoy. Don't get me wrong, a day off is great, especially during college football season. But other than that, it's nice to stay busy because it almost makes you feel like you're doing something right.
that's true. And I'm sure you can put some of that credit to Craig Ban for keeping you
Oh,
busy
of
and
course.
occupied.
My emails are full of emails from Craig. He always has something for me to do, like this with you.
Yep.
Always.
Yep. We well, my husband and him go back way back, and he's the one that we kind of contacted, and we found you and a lot of aspiring and great artists out there, and we appreciate Craig. So we got to give a shout out to Craig. Say thank you,
Of
Craig.
course. Craig's awesome. He's a hard worker. He puts me to shame. He's always got something going on.
No, he's a good guy. And so that we're spinning your videos on Strike TV.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
we're also my husband's got a internet radio called Texas Best Country.
Okay.
And he is playing your music on there as well. So
Well, please give him a big thank you for me. That's awesome.
yeah, buddy. So you're a little bit of everywhere in the Mauser Media family here. So
I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. Thank you guys.
yeah, we're so proud to play you and honor that you came on with us. And I guess I like to ask this question too. So, what advice would you give to aspiring actors and musicians that are just getting started?
Ah. This is one of my favorite questions because the answer sounds bad, but be willing to hear no. The my IMDb page has some really cool projects that I've been able to work on, and I'm super proud of those. But the amount of auditions I've gone to is so much larger than the amount of projects I've actually worked on. Projects that I've died to be a part of that I would give anything to just be a small role on.
Hmm.
And to get told, especially as a kid, we really like him, maybe in the future, but no, he's not right for this. Hearing the word no so often makes the yeses feel so much better. Writing the 200 totally garbage songs to find the five after that are like, oh, these are worth putting on the radio. These are worth promoting. These are worth filming a music video for. That's really cool. Seeing one of your like I've put out 3 albums now, and then some singles in between there that aren't a part of any specific project, and now Red, and to finally see a song take off, like to me, take off. It'd be over 700,000 streams on all the streaming platforms, and to now be on the radio and going up the charts. Like to finally see that happen, even though I've been doing it for so long, to finally see it happen makes it feel worth it. And so it's all those low moments that you have to take with a grain of salt that build your character and build your toughness to playing for empty bar rooms and crowds where half the crowd is literally your two parents sitting there. I've had that happen, swear.
Oh, yeah.
Literally played a 2 hour show one time for 4 people. Two of them were my parents.
Oh.
And it's moments like that that then make going to Idaho a few weeks ago and playing for an entire county fair where it's just people everywhere dancing. There's a rodeo going on over there. And then playing in South Carolina at their AAA baseball team stadium. Like doing stuff like that makes all those times that I spent playing those nothing shows where I was tired of it, I want to play bigger shows. It made it all worth it. So be willing to have those really small stepping stones because eventually when you've got to take that super big leap, it'll feel so much better.
Yes, yes. And you got to keep the faith.
Yes,
Never
of
give up.
course. Of course. God's got a plan for everybody and everybody's story is different. People ask me a lot how if I'm still doing acting. Yes, I still audition, but I also believe that God throws things at you in waves, and He doesn't give you more than you can handle.
That's right.
So right now, I think that the wave I'm riding is the music, and that's what I'm working on. It's what we're touring with, especially over this summer. School's about to start back up, junior year of college. It's going to be busy, and so that's definitely what I'm focusing on.
Awesome. Well, hey, hopefully you will be down in Texas somewhere,
I hope.
so we can come and see you. We'd love to do
Yes,
that.
ma'am. I have yet to perform in Texas, but I do think we are not too terribly far from getting a couple dates down in South Texas,
That
Southeast
would
Texas.
be
So
awesome because we're probably about 60 miles north of Houston. We're in Livingston.
I
So,
will let you know then.
hey, we'll treat you to lunch, dinner, whatever,
Amazing.
hang out with me and my hubby, and we'll
There
even
we go.
bring Matthew, our editing guy.
Of course. Let's do it.
That would be fun.
Sounds like a plan.
So, hey, tell everybody where they can get your merchandise, find out your tour dates, and all that good stuff.
Everything is super simple. All of my social media, my website is literally just my name, Jet Jurgensmeyer, Jet with one T like a plane. And Jurgensmeyer, if you type a JU after Jet, I'll pop up. It's not a very common name. Yes, it's my real one. On my website, there's a little tour section. You can click that button. You can find out where we'll be playing. Those dates are constantly getting updated. And then I'm also always posting on socials where I'm going to be playing on the way to and from.
Awesome. So, what's next for you?
Let's see. Tomorrow morning, I don't know when this is coming out, but tomorrow morning for me, I'm flying to Denver, Colorado. I've got like an event private thing that I'm performing at, which will be super cool. And then I fly back at the crack of dawn Friday morning because I'm working here in Nashville. And then in 2 weeks, school starts back up, and I'm gonna be doing that, and then being gone on the weekends for shows.
Wow. You a busy, busy guy, huh? That's good though.
Yes, it is.
That is good. Well, Jet, I've really enjoyed having you on
Me
this show
too.
here
Thank you
with
for having
Straight
me.
TV. You were You're definitely going to go places you already have. So, hey,
Thank you.
got it going on.
Thank you so much.
So, Angela Jet Jurgensmeyer is Strike TV.